welcome to another episode of the Audience Circle podcast, where we're informing you, the arts audience in Frisco. I'm Tammy Miner-Shagan, the chair of the Frisco Arts Foundation, and today we are talking to none other than the actual Phantom of the Opera. Yes, did you know that the Phantom from the Phantom of the Opera lives in Frisco? His name is David Gaschen, and he's performed the title role more than 1,500 times in Broadway in New York City, as well as in Europe. So we're going to be talking to David about how he got into singing, his musical journey to Broadway, what he thinks about the Performing Arts Center coming to Frisco, and what's coming next for him. So let's bring David on. Hi, David.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Oh, is that an original?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
That was the one I wore my first Phantom ever.
Okay, so is it hard to sing with that?
You get used to it. I mean, it fits your face. They fit it to a mold to your face.
Oh,
but then
okay.
they fit it, and then they have the stick that there's some prosthetic makeup that goes on top. So
Okay.
It sits on top of it. At first, the echo kind of goes through the mask to your ear, so you hear it on your right side more than your left. But I got used to it when I think, okay, I could either not get used to it and go back to delivering Schlotzkys, or I could get used to it. So I got used to it. And then I have my little Phantom Wall of Fame here.
Ooh, that's
Got all the,
nice.
And there's the mask that I did my Broadway debut on right there. My wife made a Chatterbox.
So when did your love of singing begin, and when did you get started in it?
Well, I started singing apparently when I was really young. I was singing all the time. I just wasn't singing for people or in front of people, just kind of singing. I was the last of 8 kids.
You were the baby of 8 kids?
I was. I had 5 older sisters and then 2 older brothers.
Wow.
Yeah. I came from Lubbock, and I went to a Catholic middle school and elementary, and we didn't have a choir. Or we didn't have anything like that.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to do in Lubbock. I went fishing down at the little playa lakes around the core. I went to Monterey. I had to sign up for an elective, and I thought, well, maybe I'll sign up for choir. I think I can sing on pitch, and I need an elective, so let's try that. So I went in, and my first day of school, and she had the choir conductor had to play scales for us, and I didn't even know what a scale was. I want you to sing the scales I play. I said, okay, so just sing the notes you're playing? She said, yeah. So I sang the notes that she was playing, and she kept kind of looking up at me and looking up at me. I go, oh man, I'm in deep trouble. I'm horrible. She's not going to let me in, And my mom got a call that afternoon, and she said, from the choir director, that said I should be in show choir, I should try out for All-State, I should be in the musical, and and that's where it started. And then I tried out for the musical my sophomore year, that same year. And, I just wanted to get to know people. I didn't know anybody. I tried out for Grease. We did Grease.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, I had undyed black hair. I looked very Italian. I looked real tan because I played baseball. I was on the baseball team. And so I was outside all the time. And I went in and sang, and they gave me Zuko. They gave me the lead. And I was freaking out until I found out that the best looking girl in the school was Sandy. So I quickly got over it.
That's right. And you realize this is a good gig.
I'm liking this. I get to be the prettiest girl in school. I'll take it every time. So majored in voice performance at Texas Tech, got my degree, went to Chicago, worked a couple of years in Chicago, not singing, mostly Schlotzky sandwiches. But there was an audition for Jean Valjean on the tour, and I was 24 at the time. So I went in anyways and sang. The guy really liked me, and he said, anytime we have an opening for Valjean, I'm going to call you. And he called me that night and said, there's an opening on Broadway for a cover for Valjean. I want you here tomorrow. And so I flew in that day, auditioned, didn't get it. The guy said, you're 24. No one will believe that a 24-year-old is a 60-year-old man with gray hair. So, but the guy kept me in mind because he also cast Phantom. So 6 weeks before I was to be married in 1995, there was an audition for the international company in Basel, Switzerland, of Phantom of the Opera. And my agent, she was freelance agent, she called me, she said, there's an audition, come in and audition for Phantom. And I got it. I got Phantom, and it was in German. They never even had me sing in German, but luckily my last class in college was German. So
I can't imagine some of those songs in German.
It was magical to do. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. Because I knew the whole show in English already.
Right.
And then I went to Hamburg, Germany for 2 years, and I was the Phantom alternate there. And then I lived my dream. I moved back in 1999, and there was an opening. It was the same music director that hired me for Basel for Broadway. So she called me and she said, there's an opening on Broadway for a cover, and you'd be covering Howard McGillin, who I saw back when I was in college in Anything Goes as the lead. And I said, wow, oh, what a circle of events this is.
Yeah.
So, and I got it. I was there 3 days, and 3 days after it, I was not unemployed. So, and I lived my dream. My first show as Phantom was November 8th, 1999 on Broadway. And I ended up doing about 400 or 500 shows as Phantom on Broadway. I was in the ensemble, but altogether I did the role of Phantom about 1,500 times, maybe. So,
that music is now just in your soul.
Oh, there's no way you can forget it.
Yeah.
And as much as I did it, I never got sick of it. It's really infectious music. I mean,
I know.
And the fact that I got to do it, I promised myself, if it ever just became a job, I'm going to quit. If it's ever not the greatest thing I've ever done and will ever do, I'm going to quit. And sure enough, I got to the point, we had a couple kids, and I started to think about the future and I loved New York, but I didn't know if I wanted to raise my kids in the New York atmosphere,
Right.
We moved back to Texas. I said, okay, let's go. And I still subbed in on the road. And I did the tour of all Canada and the United States off and on. At that time, I was the only Phantom and Bianchi cover they'd ever had.
Oh my gosh.
Usually it's either a baritone or a tenor, but I had a big range. So I was like, hey, if it pays for my kids' shoes, I'll sing whatever. I'll sing a girl part,
Right.
But
well, and I know that you have a big heart for Lubbock because that's where you're originally from, and you got to perform at the Buddy Holly Hall, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what was that like?
It was incredible. That hall is the most, and I know you've taken a tour of it, actually, with my friends, with Chad. And that hall is the most incredible hall, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Lubbockite and I'm a Red Raider. It's the most incredible sound and the most incredible hall I've ever sung.
Wow.
And I've sung at a lot of different ones.
You have.
It's as good as the Wind Spirit. It's as good as Meyerson. And I talked to the guy who designed the sound and designed the hall.
Yep.
And he said, this hall will be the best sound in the country until the next hall is built that has this sound.
Wow.
And sure enough, when I sang with the symphony, I never heard anything like that. I never felt sound envelop me. And the orchestra, it was a 60-piece orchestra, and it was all behind me. But it felt, sometimes with orchestras, if the sound isn't right, they feel like they're overwhelming. But it felt like they were cradling. It felt like I was being cradled, like I was being held. First singer, it's funny, the first singer was supposed to be Kristen Chenoweth last year. Well, she wanted to wait because of COVID concerns until October of a couple months ago.
Right.
And so they called me and they said, David, we need a local who's well known and who loves Lubbock and wants to sell. I said, I'm in. You don't even have to go any further.
Right.
So I got to sing in Kristen's place that night, and I ended up being the first singer in the hall that's ever sung with the symphony. So it was a dream come true in every way. When you drive down there, you honestly can't believe that is in West Texas.
Right. And right in the middle of that new arts district, and it's so great. I actually was shocked. I've never been to Lubbock, and I kept hearing about Lubbock. I'm like, where the heck is Lubbock, and what's out there? I was prepared to be totally unimpressed, and I got there, and I'm like, I want to move to Lubbock. Frisco is going to be having our own performing arts center. Would be amazing. I know, for you to come and sing there. Yes.
Well, I think Frisco is large enough now. The city itself is large enough and getting larger by the day. It's still growing. That it's needed this for a while. There's enough draw that it's close to Dallas, but it's not in Dallas. And a lot of these regional tours, who a lot go to Winsphere, a lot go to Dallas Summer Musicals, but they could do a ton of entertainment coming through. I think Frisco could take a 2,000 seat theater. I mean, it's almost as big as Lubbock, and Lubbock can take it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Lubbock is literally in the middle of nowhere in West Texas. I mean, it's all by itself, Frisco has McKinney, it has Plano, it has Salina, it has Southern Oklahoma, it has all the ones west of here on the way to Fort Worth, Absolutely. Just because those big cities, Fort Worth and Dallas, have those huge theaters doesn't mean that we can't have just as exciting of arts and entertainment coming into the theater. I mean, it's and when I found out that Frisco was having one, I was so excited, and I've been pushing for it with you, and the city came through, and there's a real lack when there's so much emphasis put on sports. Don't get me wrong, I'm a sportsman. I love sports. I love sports as much as the next guy, but I truly believe the arts. There's a fundamental thing in the arts that the kids in this city have to have. Mm-hmm. There's a part of your brain that has to be developed through the arts, either watching the arts or being in the arts. And what an opportunity for FISD to be able to educate,
Yep, and our students to have that opportunity, like you're saying. I mean, that's the one thing that, our kids are now a little too old. They're not going to get to enjoy it, but it's for the next generation of kids that are growing up in Sports City, USA, that they'll get a chance, if they're artists and they're musicians and dancers, that they have somewhere that they can go to.
There's so many kids who are trying to find their way. Right? There's so many, and I work with a ton of theater kids who are just trying to find their way. All they want to do is be around their people. Mm-hmm. And with all of that space and with all this entertainment, it gives them the opportunity to dream. And that's what you want. You want the kids the opportunity to dream, because I had the opportunity to dream. Someone gave me that opportunity. Right. Someone saw it in me and gave it to me. Mm-hmm. So I took that and I went with it. Right? I was very fortunate. Some kids have the dream, but they don't believe they can do it until someone tells them that they can.
Right. And they get to walk on a stage where they can taste it and feel it.
Yes. Once you're on the stage and it's part of you, like it was with me, once I was on, I knew this is my happiness.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It helped having 8 brothers and sisters, because I'm proud. But,
Did they come to every one of your performances to cheer you on?
Yeah, they did. Got to see my premiere on Broadway. So
oh my gosh. I'm so grateful that you live in Frisco, because, we get to have a living legend right here. And eventually, hopefully, opening the Performing Arts Center in Frisco as well.
Yes. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to help in any way I can. Yeah.
Well, we're excited you're going to be singing again in Frisco on Sunday. Tell us about the concert.
I'm doing 2 concerts at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. at the new Nack Theatre. The tickets are $40 each, all geared to celebrate the holidays, And so I'm singing classics. I'm singing White Christmas. I'm singing the Christmas song. I'm singing I'll Be Home for Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Plus, if you can't go to the concert, you can still help someone go to the concert. If you want to buy a ticket, he is partnered with the VFW here in Frisco, the Veterans of Foreign War, and I have a little email here.
Okay, yes.
He said we partner with their friend in Frisco, post number 8273, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, U.S. Commander Sheena Lawless, where you can purchase a ticket to this show for a local veteran. A promo code called Veteran Cheer, Veteran, just Veteran Cheer, one word. It's 10% off of the purchase price, and it's intended for veteran tickets only. Okay, so if you can't go and still want to give a veteran who has fought for our country and gives us the opportunity to do this, the opportunity to go, it will be given to a veteran to celebrate Christmas. So
love that idea, and thanks to Sheena Lawless too, who runs that VFW group.
Oh yeah,
she's an incredible woman.
Yeah, that's a gift to be able to do that. She's
yes.
special heart right there. So
yes, definitely. And you know, the Nack Theatre is, like you said, it's a really neat space that's propped up in downtown Frisco, the Rail District.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing more that's going to come out of that theater.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just a perfect place to have a little theater to show, whether it be for kids programs, for studios that want to perform, for churches that want to do a special show, what have you. Whatever organization, it's not too big to where you feel overwhelmed like you have to sell 1,000 seats.
Mm-hmm.
But it's small enough to make it intimate enough to do. I could see a TED Talk there or TEDx Frisco.
Right.
To do that type of thing, and
Yeah.
it's the perfect venue for that. So, and I'm really excited. I've been excited for about 6 weeks, 7 weeks, practicing every day, trying to get the songs just right. I'm not trying to brag, but I don't think you'll be disappointed.
I'm sure we will not be disappointed, of course.
Yeah,
It's amazing. So thank you again for your time, and everyone go out there and get those tickets. I'll show the Eventbrite again. Just need to go on to Eventbrite, and then you can search in there for Frisco and David Gaschen.
Yes, do it. Let's have some fun. Merry Christmas.
Exactly. Yes. So everybody go get those tickets, and hopefully we'll see you Saturday the 18th, or if not, on the next Audience Circle podcast. So we'll catch you later. Thanks, David.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.